On the fringe of a Munich airport lies the wreckage of an airliner, still smouldering from a crash in which 21 people were killed. Tragedy enough at any time. But in that plane were a group of young men who were almost the personal friends of millions. Manchester United, the finest soccer team Britain has produced since the war. And 7 of them died in the crash. 10 others, as well as their famous manager, Matt Busby, were injured. Some so seriously that their lives hung in the balance. Busby's babes, as they were affectionately called, were on their way home from Belgrade when the disaster struck. They were on top of the world. Their 3-goal draw with Yugoslavia's Red Star team had put them through to the European Cup semi-finals. They had high hopes of the English FA Cup. Now those hopes are snuffed out, like the lives of 7 of their finest players. 3 days before, the press had carried pictures of a confident team leaving for Belgrade. Pictures which remind us that with them were 8 of the North's finest sporting journalists who would never see home again. Day breaks over Munich airport, where snow is blanketing the wreckage of the BEA Elizabethan, in which 7 Manchester United footballers, 8 journalists and 6 others lost their lives. Within hours of the crash, a German inquiry declares that the aircraft hit the house beyond the end of the runway because iced wings prevented it from rising. British experts are not prepared to accept the icing theory. So, for the present, the cause of the crash remains a mystery. Fortunately for the survivors, the nearby Rex der Isère hospital is one of Europe's finest. Matt Busby was their worst problem. For 2 days he lay between life and death with one of his lungs completely deflated. Then came the welcome news: Matt was off the danger list. While millions wait anxiously for news of the seriously injured men, the hospital staff work day and night to save them. And to their credit, 4 days after the crash, all are still alive. Jackie Blanchflower, whose injuries were many and alarming, shows considerable improvement. Good news for brother Danny, playing for Spurs during the weekend. Goalie Ray Wood is doing well. So are Albert Scanlon, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Viollet and Ken Morgans. Here's wishing them and the Dangerless trio, Berry, Raymond and Edwards, a speedy recovery.